The afternoon of Aspen's departure, she's unusually quiet. Although she shows up to breakfast like normal, she barely says a word throughout the whole meal, other than things like yes please and no thanks. From the way she keeps checking her phone and messing with her face and clothes, I can tell something must be on her mind. Figure she's just antsy about her trip, so I don't bring it up or try to talk to her. Instead, Juliet and I mostly chat until we're done eating and the dishes are cleaned up. The moment we're finished, Aspen perks up a bit.
Miho, are you ready to go to the bus station?
Yeah! This way, you have as much time as possible to get back.
Precisely. Thank you.
Of course!
Before departing, Juliet approaches Aspen and gives her a hug. From the outside, I realize that hugs look kind of weird. People have come up with the strangest ways to show they care about each other.
Safe travels, Aspen. Let us know when you get there.
Will do. I won't have reception while traveling, but I'll send a message as soon as I'm home.
How long's your trip?
If it was by car, only a couple hours. It'll be closer to 4 by bus, though. I'll take an early one on the way back tomorrow just to be safe.
Ample reading time, it sounds like.
Oh, yes.
She drums her fingers on a book tucked into her bag.
Patricia and I have a lot of catching up to do.
It's so strange the way you refer to your books. Although she's still fidgety, it seems like Aspen's remembered how to speak. After spending an unusually long amount of time adjusting her skirt and hair, she finally faces me brightly.
Well, shall we be off, Miho?
Yep.
Goodbye, Aspen. Good night, Miho.
Bye!
Later!
Aspen holds the front door open for me as we exit the library.
Where exactly is the bus station?
Not too far from my apartment. We'll pass it by on the way there.
Can we say hi to your cats so that I can actually see them, please? Please, 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 please.
Should we stop by and say hi to the cats? I'm sure they'd love to see me.
Miho, I love you. Miho, I love you so fucking much I could kiss you on the mouth.
They're going to be angry enough at me for leaving for a day. I'm not sure I want to traumatize them right before I go.
Dang it. I've never gotten along with cats.
Have you known many?
Only a few. Some of the strays have some really good stories to tell.
What? Wait. What? You can... What? What? We're just moving on from that? Okay. The two of us walk along in silence for a little bit before Aspen pokes me on the shoulder. I've gotten more used to physical contact like that, but it still surprises me every time.
What's it like talking to an animal, anyway? How do you do it?
Yes, thank you.
I'm not sure. It was just something that I knew how to do. Like making a den.
But, like, you can just talk to other animals? Like, not just foxes? You can just talk to, like, a bird or whatever?
A lot of the time, you can just feel what they mean without saying it. I don't know how to put it.
That's fair, actually.
No, that makes sense. There are some things that you just can't put into words, as much as you'd like to.
Exactly! I have the problem a lot. I'll bet you don't, though.
That's a really bold assumption there.
You'd lose that bet quite handily. Why, I'd say I struggle to put things into words more than anything.
Really? How? I thought you loved writing.
I do, usually, but it's not that simple. Sometimes you just can't use any old words. You have to use the right ones. And often that means going through lots and lots of the wrong ones until you find them.
I think it's easier the way animals do it.
It certainly sounds like it. I often wonder if I could talk to Percy and Byron, what they would have to say. Maybe they just complain about me not feeding them enough or something.
Wait, are those your cats' names? Ay, ay, ay.
Do you want me to ask them?
It's tempting, but no thanks. As long as I don't know for a fact that they're saying rude things, I can convince myself that they're not. Rather like that other cat in the box.
Huh?
Cats like being in boxes, so they probably wouldn't be complaining.
Not quite what I meant, but I'll take it.
Are you talking about Schrodinger's cat? That genuinely threw me. I was like, was there a cat in a box that we had seen in this game at some point? What are you talking about? Jesus Lord. For a bit, Aspen hums quietly to herself while we walk. I don't know if she knows that I can hear her. Even though she's being more chatty, there's still something that seems a little off about Aspen. I can't quite place my finger on what it is, though. At one point, she checks her phone and starts to walk a little bit quicker.
Are you looking forward to going home?
Are you running late? If she has to think about it, that kind of answers my question.
I am, yes. But like I said, I prefer to only do so for a day or two at a time.
'Cause of your parents?
A little. They're not really that bad, though. Mum's a worrywart and Dad isn't, so Mum feels like she needs to worry enough for both of them. It's not too bad over the phone, but when I'm there, Mum always tries to convince me to stay and move back. So I tell them they should move out here instead, and Mum goes into why they can't, and it's just tiresome.
Hey, yeah, fun pro tip, life tip for if you keep having the same conversation with your parents, just stop having conversations with them, and that stops pretty quick.
Sounds like she cares about you a lot.
She does. And I love her too, don't get me wrong. It's more the town than them. Or rather, the lack thereof.
What do you mean?
They live in the middle of nowhere.
Oh.
Mum loves it out in the countryside and says she can't live without her backyard view and half a kilometre from the nearest neighbours. I, on the other hand, can't live without bookstores and coffee shops and high-speed internet.
So that's why you moved to Wellington?
That's why I moved to Wellington. It seemed like a necessity to make it as an author.
Aren't there a bunch of writers that live in the fucking middle of nowhere? I try to put together the things that she's been telling me into one big picture.
Can you only find the right words here?
Exactly. At least, that's what I thought before I came. Turns out that moving to a new city won't magically make you a better writer. Or even a writer at all.
Oh, you're so funny.
Back when I was in school, I used to daydream about what life in the big city must be like. Busy and important things happening during the day, and then nights full of excitement and sparkling wonder. Instead, it's the Bell House, and a tiny apartment the size of my living room back home. I thought if I put myself in this new environment, then I'd grow into the type of person who belonged there. I learned the hard way that places don't change who we are. Still, better to be struggling to make it in the city than doing nothing out in the boonies, I tell myself.
I think it sounds pretty nice. Peace and quiet, nothing to have to worry about.
Ugh, not you too. That's exactly what my mum says. Trust me, it sounds better hearing about it than living it. Just like Wellington. Or any city, I'd imagine. I'm sure even Wellington must seem like a bore compared to some of the places you've been to, like Shanghai or Seoul.
Well, yeah. I still like it though. Those cities are too big for me. They're noisy and loud and smell bad, and anything can be dangerous. You have to be on your guard all the time. It's not like that here. The scariest thing I've seen was a movie.
That's true. I'm glad. I'm glad you liked it enough to stay.
Me too.
We're well into the city, pretty far past Cuba Street and the Bell House. Now that I've been there once, I also recognize Te Papa, the museum, when we pass by it. By now, there isn't much I don't recognize. I've been all over this part of Wellington enough that I could probably get from here to Mount Victoria with my eyes closed. I memorized other cities the same way when I lived there, but for the most part, once I left, I forgot all about them. I'm not sure I'd ever be able to forget the streets of Wellington, though, even if I wanted to. Instead of humming, Aspen started fidgeting again as we walk, messing with her phone and purse and hat and glasses. I recognized the shops and apartment buildings from the walk to Aspen's house, so we can't be very far from the station.
Are you nervous?
Me? No. Why would I be? Do I seem nervous?
Yeah. Is it because of the bus? You don't have to worry about that. I've ridden on them lots of times and they only broke down like once.
No, it's not that. I mean, no, I'm not nervous.
Okay.
Okay. I've never seen Aspen more nervous, but I still don't push it. I can hear and smell the bus station before I see it, and then it comes into view. There are 2 or 3 buses parked or passing through. I wonder if one of them is Aspen's. We stop across the street and she checks her phone again, then puts it away.
You're not late, are you? Oh, I could have walked faster.
No, we're right on time. It'll be here any minute now.
Cool. I'll wait with you till it arrives.
I start to cross the road, but stop once I notice Aspen isn't following. Instead, she's standing on the sidewalk, gripping the strap on her bag tightly.
Aspen?
I drop back to her, looking around to see if I'm missing something, but there's nothing other than a couple people waiting far away at the station.
Are you alright?
What? Are you leaving forever? What's going on? She blinks a couple times, then takes a deep, deep breath before facing me.
Miho, I have to tell you something.
What? The effect of her words is immediate. Like she cast a spell, my heart starts to race. Whatever she's gonna say must be why she was acting so weird all afternoon. Is it something bad? Is she not coming back after all?
Yeah?
Barely managed to croak out an answer. I can't handle more heartbreak so soon.
It's something that I've been thinking about telling you for a long time. But it was one of those things where I wasn't sure how. Or when. Because I didn't know how you'd take it.
Are you dying? What even the fuck? We just saw Julia. It can't be anything to do with her. Lena, oh my god, it's been so long since I saw Lena, my best friend.
But then, after we all talked the other night, I realized that I should just say it anyway. Because no matter what, I know I would regret it more later if I didn't.
Oh.
Who knows how many more chances I might get? So I thought about it. A lot. What the right words were. And I just couldn't figure it out. So I didn't prepare. I'm just saying this, somehow. And hoping. God, I'm actually saying this, aren't I?
Are you? Also, I feel stupid now, huh? Her grip on her hat shifts, clutching it in so tightly her knuckles are turning white. Feel frozen in place, not sure what to do or say. All I can do is stare, my heart feeling like it's gonna explode out of my chest while she looks down at the ground. Whispering something to herself, she wrings her hat in her hands before finally looking back at me.
There's something I want you to know. Miho, I used to think that there was no way someone like you could exist. Someone who looks at the world like you do. And is honest about what you see. The good and the bad. And at the same time, someone who doesn't realize just how much she has to offer. Just how much you make people happy. But here you are. Maybe meeting you used up all my luck for the rest of my life. But here you are. And I love you. And I just couldn't keep not telling you that. in case maybe you love me too. I couldn't keep just hoping and wondering and not knowing. And now that I've said it, it feels so good to have out there. I love you, Miho. I love you. At first, I wasn't sure because everything seemed too perfect and unreal. I thought that I was just letting myself get carried away like I always do. A silly little daydream, but it's true. It makes me feel silly how much already, when I think of how utterly stupid it always sounded to me when reading about love at first sight. But how could it be anything else? I don't believe in coincidence, Miho. My life was changed the moment I saw you. I just didn't know it yet. Now I do. Now we both do. I love you, Miho. It's out there, and I can't take it back.
Her words drift away into the air as we look at each other in silence. My head is TV static, buzzing with nothing to show. Not because it's empty, because there's too much for me to process. Aspen, in love. With me? Wind whips past my face as a bus rolls by, pulling into the station. Barely notice it, barely able to notice anything. Aspen is in love with me? I don't know what to say. Aspen raises her finger to her lips.
Shh. Don't tell me. I said it now before I leave for a reason. Because I thought you might say that. Tomorrow. Whatever it is you feel. I'll hear it then.
I look at her face for some guide on how to respond, but she just gives a smile. Weak, fragile smile. Left dumbfounded, I nod. Aspen is in love with me? Turning her hat to her head, Aspen sighs like she just finished a hard day's work.
Well, that's it. All I have to say, I suppose. As if that wasn't one of the most important things I've ever said in my life. That's my bus. So, I'll see you tomorrow, Miho. And no matter what, it's okay. If we just carry on being friends like normal, I'm fine with that. More than fine. I'm just glad that I took the chance to tell you.
For how nervous she was a few minutes ago, she sure seems a whole lot calmer now. May as well be a statue as Aspen starts to walk past me, but then she pauses.
May I give you a goodbye hug?
That much I can respond to at least.
Yeah.
We wrap our arms around each other. Weird human custom. Everything may have just changed, but she's still the same Aspen she was when we left the library. I try to listen for what she might be saying without words as she squeezes me tight. Finally, she steps away with a smile. Might be the most genuine one I've ever seen on her face.
Bye, Miho.
Bye.
I gonna die. I make my way back to the library like a zombie, my feet moving without really thinking about it. Aspen's words keep replaying over and over in my head. I get them, but I can't make sense of them. There's not a sound to be heard from the empty aisles when I enter, Juliet having finished tidying up in the hour or so that's passed since I left. After a quick glance around, I head towards the stairs. When I head up to the second floor, I spot a sliver of light from underneath Juliet's bedroom door. I knock, and it opens just a moment later. Juliet greets me with a calm smile at first, but the corners of her mouth falter as she looks at my face. Don't quite know what expression I'm making right now. Don't know what I'm even feeling to begin with.
Miho? Did something happen?
Aspen said she's in love with me.
Oh, I see.
Did you know about this already? Am I stupid? Juliet's not the type to be shocked easily. That's why I wanted to see her for advice, but she's even less surprised than I thought she would be.
Give me just a moment, and I'll meet you in my study.
I nod and head over there, opening the door. As I walk into the darkness, I'm met by several pairs of eyes.
What?
Just as startled as I am, several bats begin to flap their wings and noisily take flight, chittering overhead before most of them leave out the open window. The biggest one watches me for a bit longer before departing as well. By the time Juliet enters the study and turns on the lamp, it's just me and her.
Sorry I scared off all your bats.
It's fine. Don't worry. I'll be back before too long.
We settle down into the same seats as last time, with Juliet behind her desk and me across from it.
So, Aspen.
Yeah. Aspen.
I wonder what Aspen's thinking right now. Is her head as much of a mess as mine? Probably, knowing her.
We had just gotten to the bus station when she stopped and said it. She said she waited until just before she left, so she didn't have to hear my feelings until tomorrow, when she gets home.
And what are your feelings?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't ever thought about love or someone being in love with me. I don't even really know what it means. I know the word, but how does it feel? How would I know? The other day, you talked about how much you loved Cosette, and how you didn't know much about love before then. This is a different love from that, right?
She thinks to herself for a while, carefully considering her answer. I'm glad she does. At least one of us can stand back and think over this properly.
Yes and no. Of course, the bond between a parent and their child is different than that of two partners, but it comes from the same part of the heart. The part that you give away to somebody else. Love is when you care about another person so much that the feeling becomes bigger than you. When your life is more full and joyful for the presence of that person in it. I could throw out any number of cliches, but they'd be meaningless. What love means and how it feels are different for every person. To speak from my own experiences, love is like a flower. It starts as something tiny, but as it's nurtured and cared for, it grows. It reaches toward the sunlight and towards something better, and blooms into something beautiful. Not all flowers grow at the same rate, and not all flowers look the same. But wouldn't you agree that that's the joy of flowers, Miho?
I look up from the floor towards Juliet, who's watching me warmly.
I like flowers, but I've never grown one before.
The same can be said for everyone at some point. But as long as you're willing to give it the time and patience that it deserves, even the tiniest seed can become something wonderful.
Juliet must see the confusion on my face because she touches my hand gently.
You should take some time to yourself, Miho. We can talk about it later tonight, if you're ready. If you needed even more time, I'm sure Aspen would understand.
Yeah. I need to think about it. And sorry for waking you up. Or keeping you up. Whichever.
It's no trouble at all. I'm glad that you felt comfortable coming to me about this.
It was the first thing I did. Thanks, by the way. You've helped me out a lot.
Of course. It's my pleasure. It's what friends are for.
Juliet returns to bed, and I go back to my room as well. Sit down on the floor, which is where I've done a lot of my best thinking lately. Lean against my bed and turn on the TV. There sure are a lot of shows and movies about love, aren't there? It's difficult to imagine that concept applying to me. I do know that I care about Aspen a lot. I like being around her. I like talking to her. I look forward to seeing her when she's not there. We're friends, but could we be more than that? I spend a few hours stewing in my thoughts and not coming to any conclusions. Love feels like something that couldn't and shouldn't apply to me, and yet here I am. Hours pass as I consider the issue from every different angle. I end up with more questions than answers. Is it something I want? Is it something I could even do? What I choose to say to Aspen doesn't just affect me, but if it affects her too. No matter what, both of our lives are about to change. And no matter what, I have to make a decision. I'm sure that I'll have some doubts either way, but can't just ignore or run away from this. So after turning it over and over in my mind, I finally make a choice. Slowly, I stand up and head downstairs. My legs feel like jelly as they carry me towards another huge moment. My hands shake, but I hold on tightly to the banister as I head down to the kitchen where Juliet's making tea. There's a second mug set on the table, full of steaming hot chocolate.
Right on time, like always. I was just about to call for you.
I heard you get up a little while ago. I was still doing some thinking, though.
I see. So I take it that means you've made up your mind about Aspen, then?
Yeah. It wasn't easy, but I have.
Matters of the heart are rarely easy. Shall we sit?
Yeah.
We take our usual seats, the third one conspicuously empty. I take a big gulp of my hot chocolate while Juliet takes a small sip of tea. Wiping my mouth with the back of my hand, I lean back in my chair, take a deep breath, and nod.
I've decided.
You fuckers. I was really hoping that that she would decide herself and I wouldn't have to pick this. Don't make me pick. Oh, man. Beans. I really like Aspen, but if you're leaving it to me to pick, I can't, like, beyond the whole, I clearly like Juliet more. Aspen, a human, you only setting yourself up for disaster there. And I'm not about to do that. I may be fucking stupid, but I'm not that stupid. I'm sorry.
I don't think I can do it. I like Aspen, and I don't want to hurt her. But she's a human, and I just don't think I can do that to myself.
That's what I'm saying. The words are heavy and hard to say, but it's a relief to say them. Juliet reaches her hand across the table and places it over mine.
I understand. I'm sure Aspen will too.
You don't think she'll be mad at me, do you? Or upset? She said she wouldn't, but...
Oh, heavens no. I'm sure she'll be sad. It would be wrong of me to tell you otherwise. But I also know that she wouldn't want it to affect the relationship you do have. I'm sure she's prepared herself for this possibility and made her peace with it. The only way I can see her regretting her actions is if they somehow sullied your friendship.
No way! At least, I hope not. I don't like her any less. I just can't like her more than I already do. Not in the way she does.
I know what you mean. The heart wants what it wants. To try and go against our own feelings is folly. We only end up creating pain for ourselves and others. That's why Aspen chose to share her feelings with you, even knowing they may not be returned. And why it's important to be honest with yourself, even about the things that may be difficult, as you've reminded me time and again.
I feel Juliet's hand slide off of mine as she stands and walks to the window, opening the blinds. Outside, it's that in-between time of evening where the sun is already set, but the sky hasn't become totally dark yet. Though Juliet has no reflection, I can see myself in the window, watching her. Wonder if she notices too. My hand tingles where hers covered it just a moment ago.
Have you ever been in love before?
Turning to face me, Juliet has an expression I can't read before replacing it with a fond smile.
There were several times that I thought I was, but later realized otherwise. All of them were before Cosette was born, when I was much more wild. I mistook the desires of the body and mind for the desires of the heart. What I had thought was love was really just an attempt to fill something missing, to fool myself into believing it was real. Raising Cosette forced me to be honest with myself for the first time in ages. Perhaps ever. I had never truly cared about anyone other than myself. I just didn't know it until then. For her entire life, I devoted my heart to Cosette, ensuring she had all the genuine love and support that she needed and deserved. Even when she grew up and moved out of our home together, not a day or even an hour went by that she wasn't in my thoughts. Since she passed away, I haven't allowed myself to grow close to anyone else. I couldn't ever again settle for a relationship that I didn't feel with my whole heart.
Her eyes meet mine, lingering for a moment before Juliet turns her attention back to her teacup, taking a sip. She closes her eyes and sighs with contentment.
I've made do with smaller pleasures. Hot tea, a good book, the company of friends. It's been enough, ever since then.
I know what you mean. I've only had smaller pleasures too.
Much like Juliet, it never occurred to me to want more. A warm place to sleep and a meal that I didn't scavenge were more than luxurious. For a long, long time, I've been satisfied with what little I had and couldn't hope for anything else. So I thought. Swish around my cup of hot chocolate, which isn't quite so hot anymore. Don't know how Juliet makes it, but I know it doesn't just come from mixing some water and powder. It's something she makes special every time, just because she knows I like it. Has anyone else ever done something like that for me? Not that I can remember.
Not looking forward to telling Aspen tomorrow.
I know. I'm sure it can't be easy.
Like always, she handles my abrupt topic changes without comment.
All I can suggest is to speak from your heart, just like she did. Though it may take her a while, in time, I know that she'll be okay.
Oh man, she's not even gonna get to have that, like, hey, I can't see you for a little bit because this is hard for me. Because if she does that, she gonna forget about her.
The best thing you could do is to treat her normally, as if nothing has changed between the two of you.
Right. She's still Aspen.
Exactly. And you're still friends. Nothing can take that away.
I nod, feeling a little better. Juliet and I chat a bit more before eventually I excuse myself and head up to my room for the night. Before I get into bed, I already know it's going to be one of those nights where I toss and turn for hours before being able to pass out. No matter what, I'm not looking forward to letting Aspen down tomorrow. All I can do is hope she understands, like Juliet said, even if it's not what she wants to hear. I'll make sure to not let it change anything between us. Neither of us would want that. Sure enough, it takes a while, but eventually my restlessness turns into exhaustion and I slip into a fretful sleep. Morning comes all too soon. Groggily opening my eyes, I check the time and see that I've slept in about as late as I can. I spend a while trying to fall back asleep, but fail and eventually get up. There are only a couple hours until Aspen will be back. I'm sure she'll go back to her apartment first after she arrives, but she'll have to come up to the library not long after that so we can see each other before the day's passed. Once she's here, I don't see a way to put off talking about that. It'll be better for both of us to just get it over with, I'm sure.
All right, Miho. You can do this.
Staring into the bathroom mirror, I try to believe myself. I know that what Juliet said is all true about our friendship not having to change or there being any bad feelings. I'm just not looking forward to telling Aspen in the first place. It won't be the first time that I've hurt Aspen somehow, but it's the first time where I've planned it out in advance and know that it's going to happen. Still, I know that fixating on it and dreading it will just make me feel worse. After moping around for a bit longer, I head down to the kitchen.
Good morning, Miho.
Morning!
At least Juliet seems to be in a good mood. I try to make myself sound chipper too. Even though it's just the two of us today, Juliet worked as hard as always on breakfast. There's the usual assortment of fruit, eggs, and toast all laid out on the table.
Thanks for the food.
Of course. Do dig in.
Don't mind if I do.
I eat my meal with as much gusto as I can, although I'm much slower than usual. Juliet went through all the effort to prepare everything, so I don't want to let it go to waste. Eventually, I have to admit defeat and set down my fork with a lot of food unfinished.
Everything okay?
Yeah, it's all great. I'm just not super hungry right now.
Oh, yes. Understandable. I'm sorry, I should have asked before preparing so much.
Nah, it's fine. Thanks for cooking. I'm sorry I can't eat more of it.
Don't worry. As long as you enjoyed it, I certainly can't complain.
I sure did. It doesn't look like you're all that hungry either, though.
Me? What makes you say that?
I point at the half-eaten bread on her plate.
You had even less than I did.
Juliet looks down as if surprised to see what's there.
Well, I suppose you're right. To tell you the truth, most food tastes the same to me, essentially flavorless.
That's the most devastating thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. Are you kidding? What? That's so sad.
I enjoy the ceremony of sharing a meal with friends much more than the meal itself.
You can't taste anything? Why not?
It's another one of the downsides of vampirism. I can still eat and drink if I want to, but I don't need to.
Even tea?
Even tea, to an extent. Although I can't enjoy the flavor, I do still enjoy its aroma. And that was one of my favorite parts about tea, even as a human.
Whoa. You're really good at cooking for not being able to try it.
Oh, no, literally.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Cosette was often my taste tester. Once I found a way of preparing something she enjoyed, it was simply a matter of committing the recipe to memory.
She definitely had good taste then. I can't imagine not being able to enjoy food. It used to be one of the only things I enjoyed.
It is quite unfortunate. Had I known what it would be like before I turned, I would have made more of an effort to sample cuisine from around the world while I could.
That's so fucking brutal.
Were there other things that were different for you then?
Oh, yes. Almost everything. Those faculties that I do retain, such as my eyesight and hearing, are far keener than they were as a human. To say nothing of the ability to transform. I suppose it must be like that for you as well, compared to your days as a fox.
Yeah, that's true. But I can always turn back into a fox when I want to.
You are quite fortunate in that regard. Taking wing as a bat can be exhilarating, but it's not... familiar.
Do you like being a vampire? Would you go back to being a human if you could?
That's a difficult question to answer. Even if I were to somehow revert to normal humanity right now, I wouldn't be the same person I was before I became a vampire. That was a lifetime ago. Several, in fact. Who I am now isn't even who I was when I first changed. I appreciate the many chances that I've had to learn and grow. Without the gift of immortality, that wouldn't have happened. Nor would I have met any of the people whom I care about most. You, Cosette, Aspen. I'd have died centuries too early for our paths to ever cross. Naturally, I wouldn't trade that for the world, for anything. But I confess that I do miss the simplicity of human life. The very things that Aspen fears most are some of what I most regret leaving behind. A temporary existence pushes you to achieve all that you can within the time given to you. Your triumphs and victories are sweeter, just as tragedy may be deeper, with their impermanent finality. I suppose I would have to say that it's equal parts blessing and curse. Presented with a choice to somehow go back and stop myself from being turned, I would decline. There are truths that can only be learned with experience and age. So, in that sense, perhaps it would be futile, even if it were possible.
With a sigh, she gives me a sheepish smile.
That was rather long-winded of me, wasn't it? To answer your question more directly, no, I wouldn't go back. There's a part of me that will always want to, though.
I get it. Sounds like there are even more differences between Fable like us and humans than I thought.
In some ways, yes.
Nodding, I idly push around some of the leftover food on my plate with a fork. It went cold a long time ago.
Thanks for saying all that. It makes me feel better about... you know, like I'm making the right decision.
It's my pleasure. I'm glad that I could be of some help.
Wish I could delay having the conversation with Aspen, but there's only a couple more hours until I would have to see her anyway, at least long enough for her not to forget me. She took a late bus there and had an early bus back just for that, meaning her visit with her family hardly lasted any time at all. I feel a twinge of guilt, because Aspen basically has to plan her life around seeing me, even though there's nothing I can do about that. Rising to my feet, I gather up both my dishes and Juliet's and take them to the sink, dumping the leftovers in the trash on my way. Don't do that! Just save it for later! Wasteful! Food! Wasteful!
Thank you, Miho.
No problem. Are you going to bed?
Indeed. Unless you'd prefer for me to wait with you.
I wouldn't mind, but it's okay. You don't have to stay up for my sake. I'm probably just going to watch TV or something until she gets here.
All right, if you're sure. As always, you're welcome to wake me should the need arise.
If you're actually asleep next time. You were already awake when I knocked yesterday.
True. Although that was something of an anomaly. Still, whether I'm awake or not, don't hesitate if you need anything.
Will do. Night!
Have a good day, Miho. I'll see you this evening.
I finish cleaning up as Juliet heads to her room. After wiping my hands dry, I flick off the lights and go to my own room. The TV crackles to life when I switch it on, and I take my usual spot on the floor with my back against the bed. Flipping from channel to channel, I look for a cartoon or something that I can watch without having to think too hard about it. Preferably something without a romantic subplot, as hard as that is to find. It's not that I mind those most of the time, but right now I'm not in the mood. I end up settling for an animated movie about a girl who can turn into a seal and her brother's quest to rescue her. Excellent. As I'd hoped, watching shows does take my mind off things. It also makes time pass by way too fast. At some point when I check the clock, I see that it's almost time for Aspen's bus to arrive. The stomach-cramping feeling of anxiety starts to kick in. I take some deep breaths and drink a glass of water to stifle it.
It's no big deal, you dummy. You're just making this worse for yourself. She'll be sad, but she'll get over it.
Around the time that the bus should be pulling into the station, I go downstairs to wait. My practice books for reading and writing are tucked away at the front desk, where I retrieve them and sit down. My eyes go over the same line a dozen times without really processing what I'm seeing. It's frustrating because it's not like my thoughts are occupied with something more important. Instead, it's just like there's an alarm bell ringing in my head, an unhelpful reminder that I'm not looking forward to what's going to happen without contributing anything useful. I grit my teeth and try to power through it, forcing my hands and eyes to cooperate. Manage to slowly make my way through the worksheet in front of me, but not without glancing at the front door every couple minutes. When I finish, I'm not sure I actually got anything out of it. With every minute that ticks by, I get a little antsier. I wait, and wait, and wait. 45 minutes after her bus should have arrived, I get up and pour myself another glass of water just to do something.
She sure is taking her time.
I should probably be more patient. It's a long walk from her apartment to here, and she probably wanted to freshen up after the long ride. Sighing, I take my seat, spinning circles in the chair. A minute later, I stand up again and pace around, browsing the books on the library shelves as if I'm interested in them at all. Before I know it, an hour has passed since I came downstairs, since Aspen got back to Wellington. I mean, maybe her bus was late or something. I head back to the desk and pull out another writing worksheet. With a couple weeks of practice behind me now, I can write almost all the letters from memory, just not very legibly. Takes all my concentration, but when I get to the end of this one, I'm pretty proud of the results. Somehow it took me almost 15 minutes to get through both sides. That explains why my hand is so sore. But it doesn't explain why Aspen's still not here.
Maybe I should go find her.
She'll probably be following the same path we took to get to the station yesterday. Goes right by her home, after all. It's early enough that if I hurry, I could get to the station and back with time to spare, in case she does take a different route and get to the library while I'm gone. Plus, I could write her a note. I grab one of the pads of sticky notes that Juliet keeps at the desk, gripping my pencil so tightly that it hurts. But I need to be as precise as I can, or else Aspen won't even be able to read it. Aspen went to station and your house, took route you showed me, will come back here. It's not the best, but it should work. I wish I was calm enough to be proud. Instead, I just grab a piece of tape and stick the note to the front door as I hurry out. Moving at a brisk pace, I scan both sides of every street as I go and check every window and open door I can to make sure I don't miss her. I make it to Aspen's apartment and knock loudly, rocking on my heels while I wait. The door never opens. I try to peek in her window, but the blinds are shut and curtains are drawn. Still, it doesn't look like there's any lights on inside. My worry starts to morph into panic. It's possible she already came home, dropped off her bags, turned the lights back off, and left. But then, why didn't I pass her on the way? Just to be sure, I hurry the rest of the short trip to the station, but don't see any trace of Aspen. Flat out running instead of jogging, I rush back the way I came. But instead of staying on that one route, I also try side streets, weaving back and forth between the main path and the others. None of them have her, and I reach the library breathless and alone, my notes still where I left it. Push the door open, hoping against hope that she is waiting for me inside. She isn't, but Juliet is there, standing behind the front desk.
Oh, Miho. I was wondering where you'd gone. I saw these sheets that you left out.
Aspen still isn't back yet!
I can't hold back from blurting out the bad news. There's no time to waste. Juliet's eyes instantly go wide with alarm and her mouth drops open in shock for a brief second before she composes herself.
I see. Wait here. I'll try to call her.
While she rushes off, I push the door back open and scan the horizon, looking for the glint of Aspen's glasses in the sun or her hat bouncing while she walks. Nothing. Oh, okay. Well, that music is, ominous and unsettling, so thanks for that. Juliet returns with a phone in her hands where it looks weirdly out of place. She calls Aspen and then puts it on speaker, and we both wait with bated breath.
Hello, you've reached Aspen. If you're a publishing agent or editor, then please...
Juliet cuts off the voicemail message just like I cut her off a moment ago.
I didn't even hear it ring!
It didn't. That means that for whatever reason, she can't receive calls right now.
Whatever reason? Like what?
Bus broke.
Most likely, her phone is dead. Or she's somewhere without reception.
I see Juliet's face fall as we both make the same connection.
Yesterday, before we left here.
Yes. She mentioned that she wouldn't have it for most of the journey. But she should have been back in Wellington a long time ago, correct?
Yeah, at least 2 hours ago.
How much longer do you have left?
About an hour.
My voice cracks as I say it.
Just under.
My mouth is dry. I try to swallow the lump in my throat, but it won't go away. She even came home early to give us extra time. Time that was supposed to be just in case, not actually needed.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I was hoping you would know.
Me? I see. Let me think.
Cursed by being the competent one. Could just wait here at the library where she's bound to turn up eventually. I'm sure she's watching the clock as closely as I am, wherever she is. On the other hand, I could go out and look for her again. I can move faster than she can, and if she's running late, then the time saved by going to where she is could make all the difference.
Okay, here.
I look up at Juliet, hoping she has the solution.
Take my phone. Go try to find her. Make sure you can get back here in time. If she arrives before you find her, we'll call you.
Okay.
Juliet quickly shows me how to use the phone, and I pocket it, making sure that it won't fall out. Her plan just combined both of mine. It's a good compromise, but it still comes down to luck. Guess there's no way around that. Not every problem has a perfect solution. There's nothing else to say, and less time to say it, so I hurry back outside without another word. Barely gotten my breath back from running all the way to the library, but I force myself to run again. I have to cover as much ground as possible, as fast as possible. I check the Bell House, but she's not there. When I get to her apartment, it's just as I left it, same as the bus station. turn around, about to start the trip back, when I spot someone waving at me from nearby.
Hey, miss. You okay? I saw you run by here a while ago.
I'm looking for someone. A friend who should have been here by now.
On one of the buses? You sure they weren't on the one that broke down?
I knew it.
The what?
Yeah, heard some other folks who were here talking about it. Guess it broke down on the way back and the replacement's taking forever. They were getting pissed because it was going to make them late. Couldn't tell you which bus it was, but you could probably find out. Where were they coming from?
I don't know the name of the town. It's a few hours away.
Well, that doesn't exactly narrow it down, but it matches up, I think. The guys who are waiting were packed for a long trip, so it must be one of those distance lines.
Thanks.
Okay, well, now just figure out the route and you can go and maybe run the way to the bus. How fast do you run as a fox? I stumble as I turn back around, my legs shaking like jelly. There's no way it isn't Aspen's bus. All the details line up so perfectly and terribly. My only hope is to wait here at the station and hope that the replacement arrives in time. Mechanically, I dial Aspen's phone over and over, hanging up and redialing whenever her recorded voice starts to play. At some point, I stop trying. As the minutes tick down, I feel increasingly sick with the burning pressure of tears in my eyes. When I do finally hear the rumbling sound of an approaching vehicle, I can barely believe it. Lifting my face from my hands, I watch with my heart in my throat as a bus turns the corner and pulls into the station. This has to be her bus. It has to be. Unable to move, I just watch as a line of passengers slowly disembarks. My eyes stay glued to the door until the line finally stops. Then a line of waiting people, including the person who talked to me, begins to board. The bus takes off a minute later without Aspen. I collapse back onto the bench, barely repressing a sob. Why? Why is this happening? For the final few minutes, I stare at the phone, open to Aspen's info. Along with her phone number, there's a picture of her sitting at the kitchen table. It's a little out of focus, but she's smiling. Look at the picture rather than the time, as minutes become seconds, and then seconds become nothing. Full 24 hours have passed, and Aspen never returned. Everything I was feeling melts into numbness. Seems like I should feel something, a chill or ache or some indication that it's over. I've been forgotten. Of course there isn't one. I've been forgotten a million times before. It just never mattered. Even now, it doesn't feel real. Just a few hours ago, I was worrying over Aspen for entirely different reasons. I rise and slowly return to the library. I don't run. I don't look in the windows. I don't try calling. My sticky note is still on the front door when I get back, and I tug it down, stuffing it in my pocket as I trudge inside. Juliet stands up from the desk as I walk in, alone. I can see her face shift as she realizes. The door slams shut behind me, no one else stepping in.
Oh, Miho. I'm so sorry.
Here's your phone. Thanks for letting me borrow it.
I set it down on the desk and then stand there, not sure what to do next.
Perhaps it's not exactly 24 hours. Perhaps there's some leeway and she'll still get here in time.
Yeah, maybe. There was a bus that broke down, I guess. It must be hers. Someone at the station told me.
For once, Juliet seems to be at a total loss for words. She just nods stiffly at my explanation. I sit down on one of the chairs near Juliet, staring at the floor. The alarm bell in my head is mercifully silent. Faintly, it occurs to me that this must be what they call shock. We sit there until there's a noise outside the door, catching both my and Juliet's attention. Slowly, the library door opens and Aspen enters, looking worn out. Her hair is frazzled and it looks like she's been running or crying or both. She shuts the door gently behind her. Juliet and I both stand up from the desk at the same time.
Aspen, you're back.
I can't bring myself to say anything, only to stand there and wait. As the feelings of dread and anticipation return, I realize that I've held on to some hope after all.
Yes, I'm back. God, I know I'm late. It was ridiculous. Our bus broke down and the replacement didn't arrive for hours. We weren't even that far from Welly when it happened. Simply unbelievable.
You could have run the rest of the way. You could have fucking run, dude. Aspen reaches up to adjust her hat and glasses and holds up her phone with a smile.
I saw all the missed calls from you once I got back to the station, but it was so late, I thought it would just be easier to come straight here instead. So sorry to keep you both waiting, Juliet.
Walking past Juliet, Aspen comes to where I'm standing, her eyes glued to the floor. She stops in front of me and slowly looks up. She was definitely crying.
And you must be Miho.
What? Did you leave yourself a note? I gonna die. I gonna die. Look at that cutie patootie! What? 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 I didn't know it would be that. What? I thought that I would have to make another choice. I got to Juliet's round. How'd I do that? Hey, wait a minute. I'm so sorry. We're sad right now. I'm still I am sad, okay? But that made me excited, and also the picture was cute. I'm sorry. It's twice now that I've lost someone dear to me. Although Aspen is still alive and I see her every day, her loss feels even more painful than Jung-Yin's. It's been a few days since Aspen lost her memories of me. She's been here like usual every day since then, and we both try to pretend that nothing ever happened. But everyone, including Juliet, knows that it'll never be the same. When Aspen and I talk, I can tell. Whenever I mention something that she can't remember, it stings all over again. Even when she's sitting right beside me, Aspen seems further away than ever. I doubt she remembers what she said to me before leaving. She hasn't mentioned it at all, and so neither have I. Not needing to have that difficult conversation was a relief, but not nearly enough to make up for losing everything else. If I could pick one or the other, I'd choose the conversation over Aspen forgetting me every time. I'm sitting in the kitchen in my usual spot next to where Aspen sits at breakfast when my ears perk up at Juliet's approach. Although she can walk without making a sound, even better than I can, I've developed some sort of sixth sense for detecting her.
You're up early.
I don't look up from the cup of cold tea that my hands are wrapped around, although it's been at least an hour since I last took a sip.
I think it's later than you imagine. Just past 8.
Oops. I must have lost track of time.
I sat down here after closing the library for the day, just intending to collect my thoughts for a couple minutes. I guess it turned out to be more than a couple. Taking a seat across from me, Juliet also has a cup of tea. Hers is still fresh, warm and steaming.
It's understandable. You surely have a lot on your mind. Anything you'd like to talk about?
You already know everything.
Not quite everything. How do you feel?
I stare into the mug, aware that Juliet's looking at me. For some reason, I don't have the strength to meet her eyes.
Sad. Even though I know I shouldn't be.
Oh heavens, why ever would you think that?
Because I knew this was gonna happen someday. Sooner or later. It just turned out to be sooner.
What do you mean?
Shrugging, I finally look up, Worry creases Juliet's face, and so I stare at the wall just behind her. Don't want to see someone else feeling bad on my behalf right now.
I mean, it was always going to happen. Aspen was always going to forget me someday. There's no way I could see her every day for the rest of her life, right? That's the other thing, too. She's a human, so eventually she'll...
I trail off, not wanting to say the words out loud, and knowing that Juliet will get what I mean. Sure enough, she nods sagely.
She will.
Death used to be such a distant concept for me. Just a boogeyman to be afraid of, but not worry about too much on a daily basis. Now it's become all too real. In the case of Jongin, now when it comes to Aspen, it's hard not to think about how that will be her fate too someday. Even if she hadn't forgotten me, and no matter what I might have said in response to her confession, the eventual end would be the same. Can't help but picture Juliet's own pain and anguish as at Cosette's grave, even all these years after she passed away.
So if it was gonna happen anyway, then what's the point? Why bother? I'm just going to get hurt again and again. Someday, even you'll also...
Forever is just as difficult with someone else who's immortal, maybe even harder. No matter how many years may pass, it'll still only take one day for everything to be undone.
Oh, Miho.
She reaches across the table and lays her hand on top of mine, still clutching tightly to my drink. Her fingers are soft and cool, but they look awkward against mine, like she doesn't know what to do with them. I don't know what to do with them either.
I wish I could tell you otherwise. But you're right that some kind of pain is inevitable when it comes to those we love. That's the trade-off for the joy they bring to us while they're with us. The pain exists because we had something to lose. Despite the heartache, I wouldn't trade my time with Cosette for anything.
It's different for me, though. Because I can lose the same person over and over. What about the next time Aspen forgets me? Or if there's a time after that? Maybe it's better to just...
I shake my head and cut myself off because I know I really will start crying if I go much further. Although Aspen and I have already been rebuilding our friendship, part of me wonders if it's worth it. Do I really want to make myself go through it all again? I know the answer is yes, I'm already doing it, but it's tough to justify to myself. Sighing deeply, I unwrap my fingers from the cup, sliding my hand out from beneath Juliet's as well. I study her hand, still on the table. Despite her age, her skin remains perfect and unblemished. All her scars must be on the inside instead.
Thanks for listening to me. And sorry for being such a bummer. I'll be back to normal in a day or two.
There's no need to apologize. I can only imagine how you must feel. Take all the time that you need. You don't have to force yourself.
Yeah, I know. But thinking about it just makes me feel worse. Besides, Aspen and I are still friends. Or I guess, friends again. I can't change what happened, so I may as well just do the best I can now.
That's true. Still, don't ever hesitate if you need someone to talk to, or a shoulder to cry on.
Thanks. I do feel a bit better. I think I'm gonna call it a night, though.
Sleep well, Miho. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm sure she can tell that I don't entirely mean it when I say I feel better. Still, she does me the courtesy of pretending.
Night.
In a backwards twist on the usual, I head upstairs to my room and leave Juliet behind in the kitchen. As I climb the stairs, I get a glimpse of her still seated at the dining table, across from the cup I forgot to put away. Somehow it feels weird to see her there alone. In my room, I wrap my blanket around myself and lie down. It's earlier than I usually go to bed, but late enough that it's pretty dark outside. I'm sure I'll be able to fall asleep. Although the day is ending for me, it's just beginning for Juliet. I wonder what she'll do with it. Maybe she's still down at the table, sitting by herself. Isn't that lonely? Then again, I guess she's probably used to it. I'm still new to this whole loneliness thing, but she's pretty much an expert by now. It's kind of sad when I think about it. As I'm lying there, I hear the sound of the front door opening and closing. Sitting up, I look out the window to see Juliet standing near the porch. Something flaps past my window, and I move closer to see a bat descending toward Juliet. At first, I assume it's one of her friends, the ones who hang in the corner of her study or get fed in the kitchen. But to my shock, the bat changes forms, soon becoming a tall man.
Another vampire.
It's too dark and far away for me to see or hear anything clearly, but I can tell they're having a conversation. I'm tempted to open my window, but I'm sure the noise would catch their attention. The two of them only talk for a couple minutes, and then the other vampire turns back into a bat. I quickly lie down and pretend to be asleep as he passes by just a couple seconds later. When I sit back up and peer outside again, Juliet's nowhere to be seen. Before long, I start to get tired and crawl under the covers for real. Although I listen for the sound of the front door again, I never hear it, and eventually I fall asleep.